Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mesa Public Schools Virtual College Fair. We are very excited to have you participating in this event with us. We have quite a number of fantastic schools here today to speak with you. My name is Clarissa, and I'll be your facilitator today. Before we get started, there are a few housekeeping items I would like to go over with you. Your camera and microphone are turned off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You also have a Q&A button that you can use to ask questions throughout the entirety of our presentation today. If you do have a question for a specific school, be sure to mention them within your question. This is also one of many sessions happening. There's an additional day tomorrow, so we do encourage you to go back out to the schedule and see what else might be available. And lastly, the session is being recorded. It will be available afterwards at strivescan.com/Greater Arizona. Now, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our first school, which is New Mexico State University.
Okay, well, thank you, Clarissa. Thanks so much for being here tonight, everyone. Just to introduce myself, my name is Susan Metzler. I'm a senior admissions advisor with New Mexico State University. We are located in beautiful Las Cruces, New Mexico. You might be wondering why, like New Mexico State University, why we, have people. I'm actually based here in the Phoenix area. So I am a regional advisor. I live here in the Phoenix area. But one huge takeaway is that we do offer Arizona residents in-state tuition rates. So if you're a resident of Arizona, you do not pay out-of-state tuition. You pay in-state tuition rates. So it's just another nice option for our Arizona students. I am going to share my screen and tell you a little bit more about us. First of all, I just want to say you can see from this picture, our campus is beautiful. Even though we are located in southern New Mexico and it is in the desert, we are at a higher elevation and we're located in a large river valley. So it's a large agricultural area. So our campus is green. We have trees, we have grass. The leaves change color in the falls. We actually get an average of 2 inches of snow a year. You'll always see people out walking, riding bikes, riding longboards around campus. So it's just this really nice traditional residential campus. We are the Land Grant University of New Mexico. We're also a NASA Space Grant College. I don't know why my screen's not moving, but all right, there we go. We have about 14,000 students on campus, so we are a medium-sized university. Our average class size is only 27. We do have students from all 50 states and 89 foreign countries, and we do have a lot of clubs and organizations. So we're not giant, but we're not teeny tiny either. It's a great campus. You walk around campus, you're going to see people you know, but we are big enough that we offer you a lot of different majors and opportunities. We do have nearly 100 undergraduate degree options. These are our academic colleges: College of Agriculture, Consumer and Environmental Sciences, Arts and Sciences, Business, our College of Health, Education and Social Transformation, Engineering, and our Honors College. We have very basic, very simple freshman first year requirements. We need a GPA from your high school of at least a 2.75 to automatically be admitted, or if you've taken the ACT or the SAT, we need an ACT score of a 21 or an SAT of a 1060. We do have merit scholarships in addition to the tuition discount, and those start kicking in around a 3.5 GPA. One thing I do want to point out is that we will accept a weighted GPA at New Mexico State University. So if on your transcript you have a weighted cumulative GPA, we will accept that for admission purposes and for all of our scholarships. Like I said, you get a huge tuition discount. Being a resident of Arizona, you get the Colorado-Arizona discount. We will subtract $17,621 from our out-of-state tuition automatically. Here is our cost, tuition and fees for an out-of-state student, as you can see, just over $25,000 a year. But then with that discount, it brings you down to just over $8,000 a year, equal to what a resident of New Mexico would be paying. Of course, you're going to have to pay for your room, your board, your food, your book supplies, all of that sort of thing, but we are a really awesome, affordable option. We do have merit scholarships in addition to the tuition discount. Based on your weighted GPA, they range from $2,000 a year to $4,000 a year. Our application is currently free. We are waiving the application fee, and the application fee will be waived until the 1st of December. We have tons of clubs, activities. We have a huge activity center, rock climbing wall, 2 pools, 1 indoor, 1 outdoor, intramurals. We even have a golf course on campus. We have clubs, we have Greek life. We have tons of ways for you to get involved. We are part of the Western Athletic Conference, so we do have Division I athletics at New Mexico State. So basically, if you're a senior and you're interested in applying, all you have to do is go onto our website, and I will put my contact information in the chat. Fill out an application before December 1st if you want to get that tuition, that application fee waived, and then we'll take it from there. All right, and then I'm going to pass it on to the next person. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your presentation. According to our agenda, Western New Mexico University would be up next, but unfortunately they were unable to join us this evening. They have asked any interested students to go directly to their website to see more information and to contact them directly with any further questions. We are going to continue with our programming and move on to Doren Scholarship programs.
All right. So I'm going to be probably a little bit different than everyone else that's presenting because we are a scholarship. But my name is Kylie and I work with the Doren Scholarship programs. So we essentially work with ASU, NAU, and U of A with first generation college students. And we define first generation as neither parent, step parent, or legal guardian holds a 4-year degree from any country. So just a little bit more about us. So we've worked to address, the various concerns that students can have in going to college through 3 main areas, and the first being paying for college. So with Doren Scholarship, you get $12,000 per year for all 4 years renewable, and it can be stacked on top of any other financial aid that you're already receiving. So say you are going to NAU, or ASU, and you are getting the president's or the dean's tuition scholarship. This will stack right on top of that, and you can use it for your textbooks, your housing, room and board, meal plan, really anything else that's a college-related expense. Then the second area we work to support our students is succeeding academically. Our students participate in various programming that we host. That's starting with a bridge program, which is kind of to help our students transition from high school to college and getting just absolutely prepared. So when they step foot on campus in the fall semester, they feel just utmost confident. You also get a dedicated advisor for all 4 years. I kind of describe them as like a parent away from home, because whenever I have a question about literally anything, they can always point me in the right direction. And then also tutoring, there's always on-campus tutoring options, but if it's not enough, we're more than happy to pay for private tutoring. Our third area of support is building camaraderie. We accept up to 60 students per year in Arizona, and you end up becoming quite honestly a family with your fellow scholars at each of the 3 universities. You do a lot together, including all of our programs. Our students do study abroad in their sophomore year in Italy together. So that's one great experience they do. And the study abroad is completely paid for. Really, all you have to do is show up and get on the plane. Everything else for the whole semester is paid for. Then other programming, such as our innovation program, which can kind of be seen in the left picture. And then cultural enrichment of events, which is typically like a musical, an opera, an orchestra that we go to twice a semester. Other things we offer, so we have a professional development stipend. Every single one of our students participates in an internship, so we're very big supporters of that. You do all these really great things with us, and so then we help you put that on your resume in a way that's going to look good for you and what you're studying versus your classmate and what they're studying. Graduate school workshops, career readiness, the cultural events, and we do a lot of community service as well. And if any student thinks they would benefit from mental health services, we will pay for up to 12 sessions. So into eligibility, so I did mention before, being a first generation college student, also being an Arizona resident, a senior, and attending an Arizona high school. We do have a minimum GPA, weighted or unweighted, of a 3.0. Also having to take the test, one of the standardized tests, so it can be SAT, ACT, the CLT, or even the PSAT from your sophomore or junior year. And there's actually still time to test if you still need to. There's November test dates for the ACT and SAT, and CLT until January. You also have to complete the FAFSA. I'm sure as seniors, you've already heard a lot about that. And then finally being accepted to one of the 3 in-state universities' main campus and applying for on-campus housing. We're currently in the first phase of the application, so it's not due till February, which is a lot of time from now. I definitely recommend doing this over winter break. It's a great time to sit down. It should really only take 30 minutes to do this first phase of the application. And essentially it's putting all of that eligibility information and combining it online to the application. So your transcript, which requires your grades through this semester, your test scores, your FAFSA, and then just us learning a little bit about you and what you like to be involved in on campus and in your community. Then the semifinals are in March, so you don't do any writing until March, which is really, really great. And it's really not meant to be intimidating. Again, it's just us really learning more about you. Then a counselor and teacher recommendation. It's just a form they fill out, should only take them about 10 minutes. And then finally the interview. And then just a few tips on how to stand out in your application. So like I said, we do accept 60 students per year, and we just doubled in size. So it's really great for us to be an ever-growing program at each university. So great words of advice for any application, for any scholarship and any school. So definitely edit your writing, have someone else look it over, and really show us, don't be afraid to show us who you are. After the first phase, we don't look at your GPA again. We don't look at your test scores. That's just eligibility. Beyond that, we really are trying to get to know you. And I think I can speak for a lot of programs in that they really do want to know the student beyond who they are as a student. They are more than just a number. So then also illustrating your persistence. If you're very involved in your community, we absolutely love to hear about that. And check more information about us out on our website for sure. Make sure you've read everything about what we do, and you can talk about that on your application. It shows you thought critically about this opportunity and finding ways to connect yourself to it already. It always will work in your favor to tell people you enjoy what they're doing. So yeah, this is my contact information. The top one is for our general email, but if you want to talk to me directly, mine is below that, and I'm typically the one to answer that phone number. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your presentation. As a reminder to our participants, if you have questions for any of the presenters you're hearing from today, definitely don't hesitate to put them in the Q&A down below. Up next, we have the Del E. Webb School of Construction at Arizona State University.
All right, so hi everyone. My name is Liz Dover and I am the program recruiter for Del E. Webb School of Construction. We are housed in Ira A. Fulton Schools of Engineering at Arizona State University. So I'm going to talk to you all about 2 of the programs that we have at Del E. Webb School of Construction. First is construction management. So we teach our students how to lead and coordinate different different construction projects. So it's a combination of business and construction engineering. So if you're ever on, or if you ever see a job site, most likely one of our students are helping coordinate that on the ASU Tempe campus. And then we have construction engineering, which is a combination of civil engineering and construction. So it's more of our students learning about infrastructure design, like dams, highways, bridges, and some buildings. So some of the key classes that I want to point out is that we have construction safety, construction technology. We have some courses on heavy construction equipment, estimating and financing, and then project management. So some of the opportunities that we have within the program is we have 100% job placement. Our students, after their 4 years, end up making starting at 60K and higher. We have over $300,000 worth of scholarship opportunities. And then we have paid internships, usually starting around $16 an hour. So touching on our internships, for ASU, you have to complete 120 credit hours. Within our program, 6 of those hours are internships. So the end of your sophomore year and end of your junior year, you'll be completing in the field internships at a company of your choice. And then we have 4 career fairs that happen in a school year. So over 100 companies come in. Our students are able to hand in their resume with no experience at all. And they're able to pick up an internship or a job opportunity. And that's whether it's in the US or abroad. Some of the professions that come out of our degree are accountants, technology experts, contract coordinators, designers, and estimators. And then we do have a few students who end up either starting their own business during their 4 years or after. We also have a lot of graduates who end up being VPs and CEOs. On the right-hand side, we have building inspectors, field engineers, project managers, safety directors. So these are the individuals who really like to be out in the field and help coordinate the entire building process. And at the bottom here, we have some of our featured employees or employers who end up donating into the program, and that kind of goes into the scholarships that our students receive. So again, we do have some student organizations. So if you aren't able to make it to any of the career fairs or if any lectures come into your classrooms, student orgs also help our students meet with industry, which is really great. They have an opportunity to really build their network, and that's something that's really great about Delhi Webb School of Construction. It's that there's so much industry in the school. So we are part of the School of Sustainable Engineering in the Built Environment. And if you ever come down to the ASU Tempe campus and you want to do the incoming freshman tour, this is the first building that you'll see. In the back there is the Welcome Center. So this group of individuals is actually some of our alums who ended up building this building behind myself in the screen here and what you're viewing on your computer screen. And it's a mix, it's actually a learning lab for our students. So when you're able to walk around this building, you see the ins and outs of why the people in this picture built the building the way they did. So this is just an open area for our students, a little study area, study rooms, first come, first serve, which is really great. A lot of the classes are group work. So students are able to hook up their computers in these rooms and work with their group. Some of our construction classrooms. And then this is just a pre-construction phase of our building. There's a lot of construction going on a lot of the ASU campuses, and something that's really cool for our students. Again, if you miss a career fair or you're not a part of a student club, some of your classes will actually have you out in the field. And even if you're walking around campus, you can go up to a construction site, say, hey, I'm really interested in becoming a construction manager, and 10 out of 10, they will hire you on the spot. So it's a really amazing opportunity for our students. So I keep on saying opportunity, that's what the school is about, is opportunity in the industry and getting out there. And just another picture of our students out in the building before it opened in 2014. And then something that's really cool about our program is that we give our students gold hard hats. So the construction management students get gold hard hats and the construction engineering get white hard hats. And if you have any questions about scholarships, this is our scholarship coordinator. She can answer all the questions that you need for the Delhi Webb School of Construction scholarships. There's only, with the $300,000 scholarship, there's only one application and it gets sent to 30 different scholarships. So we always tell our students apply for the free money. And then again, this is my contact information. If you have any questions or if you ever want to stop by the construction building, this is my contact info. I'd be more than happy to walk you around and introduce you to faculty and some students.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Our final institution for this session is Arizona State University.
All right, everybody, welcome. My name is Stephen Tokos. I am the first year recruitment coordinator with ASU. I work primarily with Mesa Public Schools, so I'm really grateful that MPS is putting this on and that they were gracious enough to open this up to other districts. If you have any questions at any point, feel free, take a picture of that or a screenshot. You can get my email. I'll put that in the chat momentarily, but send me an email with any questions that you have. I'm also available for phone or video appointments if you'd like to discuss that more in depth. So to dive right on in, I always start any presentation looking at ASU's charter. This is why ASU exists. What's our mission? What are we trying to accomplish? When we look at that, the first half of the charter, ASU is a comprehensive public research university that measures itself not by whom it excludes, but by whom it includes and how they succeed. So when you look around higher education, when you look around colleges and universities, the conversation for so long has been about exclusivity, where different colleges and universities measure themselves saying, we only accept or admit 3% or 10% of our applicants. At ASU, actually last year, we admitted 89% of our applicants. Why? Because we have very clear admission criteria. We don't want you to have to guess, am I good enough to get in? Did I know the right person? Did I write that good enough essay? We have our admission criteria that I'll show you in just a few moments. We believe that if a student has a 3.0 GPA, that they should be going and getting a college education, that they shouldn't have to be told, no, pursue that somewhere else. And so we're opening up that opportunity for students to go and learn more. And that's what's really driving us at ASU. So a little bit more, we, in case you didn't know, have four campuses spread across the Phoenix metropolitan area. One really cool thing about the 4 campuses is they are all connected by an inter-campus shuttle that runs every 15 minutes. So maybe you live in the East Valley and you're attending a program at ASU's downtown Phoenix campus, or maybe ASU West. You can hop on that shuttle over at the ASU Polytechnic campus and drive on down, connect to the Tempe campus and get to either of those campuses, and vice versa. We want students to be able to flow freely between each of those campuses. But one of the other things that's awesome, why I point out just the connectedness of the campuses is ASU is actually the only public research university in the Phoenix metro area. And with Phoenix being the 5th largest city in the country, with all of the Fortune 500 companies based in the Phoenix metro area, all of them that are in Arizona are based in the Phoenix area. There's a lot of diverse needs, academic disciplines, fields of study that students can get into to get into the workplace. And so each campus has its own field and area of study that we'll get into right now. So first off, we'll start with that downtown Phoenix campus. It's got just over 12,000 students, obviously located right there in the heart of the downtown Phoenix area. This is going to be home to programs like nursing and journalism, public service, public policy, criminology, criminal justice. It's important to keep in mind that not all programs are going to be offered at every campus. So our programs are going to be campus specific. Sometimes, and you'll hear me say right now, some of these programs are going to be offered at multiple campuses, but your program of choice is what determines which campus you're going to study at. So at that downtown campus, like I mentioned, journalism, nursing, public service, public policy. So one of the awesome opportunities that our journalism students have is ASU operates the PBS station for the state of Arizona. Our students get to work on a live broadcast every evening, broadcasting to over 1 million viewers in the state. They're also working on PBS NewsHour for the West Coast. PBS NewsHour moved their West Coast set to the downtown Phoenix campus, which is a truly incredible opportunity for students to get that hands-on learning experience that very few colleges offer students in the journalism program across the country. Moving on to our Polytechnic campus, there's just over 7,000 students at this campus. It's got a nice small town feel. It's rooted. You can see the beautiful Sonoran desert landscape with some of that modern and postmodern architecture. So it's awesome industrial look. But the programs that are going to be offered there are going to be things like engineering and business and education. One of the really cool programs, one of the magnet programs at Poly is our professional flight program. So if you look at that little map right here, it's located right next to the Mesa Gateway Airport. It's actually literally across the street. Students in our professional flight program are going from the classroom, their lectures, their labs in the morning, and then in the afternoon, walking across the street to Mesa Gateway Airport and getting up in the planes and flying, working on their flight hours with the single prop, twin prop, turboprop, and so forth. And they're graduating as professional pilots and learning the ins and outs of aviation. If you're interested in unmanned aerial systems as well, UAVs, definitely encourage you to check that out. Now on to the West Campus with just about 6,000 students. This campus was designed very uniquely to reflect kind of the Oxford feel. So you have uniform buildings, large open spaces, water features. This is going to be home to programs like education and business, as well as forensic science and forensic psychology. One of the program director for that forensic science program was formerly the director of the State Forensics Laboratory, and she sets up some truly incredible crime scenes that she had seen, and students get the opportunity to try to figure out how this person was attacked or what weapon was used and all kinds of things like that. It's definitely a little creepy for me, but if that's something that you're interested in pursuing as a career, definitely encourage you to consider the West Campus. And finally, there is the Tempe campus. Tempe is our oldest campus, and it houses about 55,000 students on any given day. Programs at Tempe are going to range from sustainability to engineering, business, education, like I mentioned, Herberger Institute of Design and the Arts. So if you're interested in architecture or performance design, all of that is also going to be based at Tempe. Now, whether you're at the Tempe campus with 55,000 students or ASU's West Campus with just over 6,000 students, you're getting a personal education. Our student to faculty ratio is 20:1. The average class size is 39. You definitely will have 1 or 2 classes with a large lecture with 100 or more students. I only had one of those as a student myself when I attended ASU. But your content specific classes, those are capped, 25 to 30 students. So you're getting that good professional and personal education opportunity. So these are the admission requirements that I want to go over for an in-state student. Steps to apply, definitely go to asu.edu/apply. There is an application fee. However, there is a fee waiver built in at the very end of the application once you submit. If you're eligible for free or reduced lunch, or if that $50 application fee is a financial hardship for you and your family, definitely opt into that and submit the application. Students have the option to self-report their grades or request that their transcripts be sent to ASU. I usually encourage students to send their transcripts to ASU. They still need to report their senior classes, but getting those transcripts in is the best way in my experience. After you apply, you'll activate your My ASU, which is a student portal. And then, of course, with any institution you're looking at, complete the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. Now, to get into ASU, these simple requirements: you need to have your 16 core classes, which is going to be 4 English, 4 math, 3 science, 2 social science, 2 second language, and 1 fine art or CTE. And just one of those 4, either top 25% of your high school graduating class, an acceptable or admissible ACT or SAT score, those are optional, or the 3.0 core unweighted GPA. So one of those 4 in your 16 core classes, and you can know before you apply whether or not you're going to be admitted to ASU. One of the big things that comes up in my conversations with students and parents is always, show me the money, right? What financial resources are there at ASU to help cover those costs? Like Liz mentioned, with the School of Construction, they have their own special applications. So definitely check with your individual colleges or schools within ASU. But then as a university, we have our own scholarship portal. That's going to have hundreds of scholarships on there. I checked earlier today, we have over 400 scholarships that students can apply for. It's available September 1st of a student's senior year. So once you apply to ASU, start looking at those scholarships, watch out for those deadlines. We automatically evaluate students for merit scholarships when they apply to the university. No separate application, just apply to ASU and we'll review you for that. And then if you're a junior or below, or maybe you're a senior and you have your sibling with you, I definitely encourage you to review, to check out Raise Me. It's a micro scholarship organization that you can earn little scholarships along the way throughout high school for doing community service, being involved in sports or clubs and organizations at your high school, or just doing ACT or SAT test prep, all these kinds of things that are going to make you a successful student in high school. We want to help reward you for that. Other things to keep in mind, like I mentioned, that FAFSA free application for federal student aid, that's available October 1st of a student's senior year. You'll need to create your FSA ID. We have two tuition assistance programs that are just for Arizona residents. So part of that access mission that ASU has is to help students with that financial burden. We recognize that can be a barrier. So the college attainment grant covers a student's tuition and fees and is renewable all 4 years. There's some requirements for that. Of course, do your FAFSA, be an Arizona resident, reach out to me for additional details there. And then the Obama Scholars Program covers a student's tuition and fees, books and supplies, and has funding for a student's dorm room and meal plan as well. I know that there's a ton of information that I'm giving you right now. There's so much more that I could be giving you, but there are lots of virtual opportunities if you want to attend something from home, or you can come in person to a visit at ASU to get an admission presentation, maybe go tour the School of Construction with Liz, whatever works best for you, we're happy to help. And then, just as I mentioned that I am the rep for Mesa Public Schools, there is a point person for each and every school in the state of Arizona. So if you're not a student who attends Mesa Public Schools, no worry, you can still reach out to me, but there is someone just like me. If you go to asu.edu/findmyrep, you can find that person's contact information, or again, just reach out to me and I can connect you with them. Thank you all so much for joining this evening.
Thank you so much for your presentation. We do still have some time left in our programming, so I'm going to move on to our Q&A portion of our webinar. So I'm going to invite our representatives to come back on and answer the question, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we will go in presentation order. So I'm going to turn it right over to New Mexico State University.
That is such a great question. And one thing I just want to point out is that every person's college journey is a little bit different. So maybe I think a lot of students feel that they have to do what their friends are doing or what their siblings did or what their families did. But there are over 3,000 accredited colleges and universities in the United States. And not saying that you have to check out all of them, because there are a lot of them, but maybe even just kind of expanding your horizons and looking at some other things, just because everyone's journey is a little bit different and we're all looking for different things. So I just encourage you to, just kind of make, do your research, look around, maybe visit a few campuses if you can, and just really find out what is right for you.
Dorrance Scholarship Program.
Yeah, coming from the perspective of someone that provides a scholarship, I would definitely say when you're looking at your different college options, weighing out your financial aid packages, because that, for some of us, at the end of the day, that's really what it's going to come down to. So really also just doing everything that you can to be applying for financial aid outside of the universities, for private scholarships, local scholarships, things like that. Senior year is very busy, but the amount of work going into putting in for scholarships can pay off for years and years to come. So really just, you're almost there, putting in as much effort for the tail end.
Webb School of Construction at Arizona State University.
It's a tongue twister. Honestly, I would just piggyback off of what both of those panelists said, is that, just give yourself an opportunity to go tour the different colleges that you're interested in. I would say don't follow your friends, follow what you want to do, and then you're going to figure it out. And also definitely look at what the colleges can give you financially. I think that's a big one if you're able to.
Arizona State University.
Yeah, so my advice would be fairly similar to, to everybody else here, but one is don't wait. Apply early in your senior year. Many students wait until the spring semester. Don't let that be you. Make sure to apply to multiple institutions as well. You might have your heart set on one school or another. Just like Susan said, consider something outside of the box. Apply wide. And then once you've applied, compare, especially your financial aid and the academic opportunities at each school, how that's going to set you up for your future, and then reach out to each of us with questions as you go.
Thank you everyone for those great pieces of advice. We do have time for one more question. So I'm going to move on to what's one thing you want students to remember about your school or program, since we do have a scholarship program with us. So I'll turn it back over to New Mexico State.
I think, one thing that's really important about New Mexico State University is the tuition discount. I mean, there aren't a lot of schools out there that just automatically give a student in another state a huge tuition discount that brings them equal to in-state rates. So we are a super affordable university for someone who is looking for that, I would say, like very traditional university experience. I mean, it's worth checking out. Every school isn't for everyone, but it's worth putting on your list and at least checking out.
Doren Scholarship Program.
Yeah, I guess like one big thing is just that we are first gen, but on that it speaks not only about us, but other scholarships. You can find financial aid for so many different things. Like for us, it's being first gen. For other things, it's having brown eyes or whatever it may be. Just the possibilities are endless. And then, with ours as being $12,000 per year for all 4 years at any of the 3 in-state schools, just knowing how much one application can change your life. So really go for it.
Delhi Webb School of Construction at ASU.
So one thing that I want you all to remember is that Delhi Webb School of Construction is a hands-on program for students interested in engineering or construction. We have over $300,000 worth of scholarship funds. So that's a lot of money for students, and it's only one application to 30 different sectors. So just remember that. Remember that there's a lot of industry opportunities too. So again, there are career fairs going on all over ASU. Stephen's going to be able to talk to you a little bit more about everything that ASU has, but we're just a small part in a large school, and it's really great to have the students to see the students grow and to see them have an opportunity to be these managers out on the job site. So if that's something that you're interested in, you want to be out in the field, you want to lead different groups, come to Delhi Webb School of Construction.
Arizona State University.
So the one thing that I would encourage students to reflect on from my presentation is don't give in to the backyard bias. If you're from Arizona like myself, I grew up thinking, oh, what's special about ASU? I knew people that went there, went on a field trip there in grade school, but definitely take some time to investigate what can each university offer you. Look at the different research opportunities, look at those merit scholarships that we're offering, the tuition assistance programs. We want to increase that opportunity of access for education for students. Again, whether you've got that 3.0 or a 4.0, we believe that with the right resources, you can achieve those same things. So come check us out. Don't fall into that backyard bias.
Thank you everyone for those wonderful pieces of information. We have come to the end of our programming, so I'd like to thank everybody for joining us this evening. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey, and we would appreciate any feedback you can provide to us. We also encourage you to go back out and check the schedule. There are more sessions happening tomorrow, and there might be some more things you are interested in as well. And as I mentioned earlier on, this session was recorded and will be available afterwards at strivescan.com/greaterarizona. Again, thank you for joining us and have a great evening.